Good evening. This is me, Samuel, computer science student at Victoria University. And this is the to work on. I'm going to remove the screws. All the screws have to be removed in order to remove this cover and deassemble this machine. This machine is working. I'm going to have to handle it with care. It's not a dead machine, so the one that I use. So it's HP. I'm going to remove the screws here. There's screws here. Then I'll start demonstrating most of the components. So I'm not going to record a video of unscrewing, but after removing the cover and everything, then I will resume. Thank you. This is the machine. I've deassembled it. I've removed the CD drive. I've removed this cover, and as you have seen, this is the model. It's HP laptop model 15RA. So this is the laptop. This is the source of the power. Most of the laptop, they are system built on chips. Though this one is an old machine, whereby you can see the hard disk is the disk is different. It's not built on the primary circuit unit. So these are the components. This is the heat sink, and I do believe the CPU is down here. But this screwdriver is unable to remove the screws. I won't be removing this heat sink, but the CPU is down here. It's supposed to be here when you remove this kind of machine. I think it doesn't have a fan for cooling. It is using this heat sink. Based on the way you are seeing it, it is not just a metal. It is some kind of aluminium that cannot absorb heat. I think this is the cooler of the CPU. You have seen the CMOS battery. This is the CMOS battery. I have to handle it with care. This is the RAM. This is the RAM. RAM, you removed it. You removed it like this. Yes, and you can put it back. This is the RAM. This is the disk. To start with, I have to start with the circuit. With this primary circuit unit. So for the primary circuit unit is like you have seen, is where most of the components, including is also called motherboard, is where most of the components are built on it. You have seen primary circuit unit is the main is the main electrical distribution unit in the computer, whereby you have seen is the one that receive the power, unlike the other like desktop, whereby you can see even the disk has its own source of power. So this laptop receive the power through the primary circuit unit and distribute it to all of to the rest of the components. So in a computer, the primary circuit unit, which is also called motherboard, is the one that connects. You can see it connects the CPU here. It connects the RAM, the storage. You have seen is also connect to it, and other peripherals like you have seen the ports for peripherals. So its main function is to distribute the power, is power distribution, and to control some of the hardwares. So what you are seeing here is it's actually the wireless cable. So we can with the wireless card. So it's the one you are seeing, and yeah, this is the wireless card. And what does the wireless card do? The work of the wireless card. Wireless card is also called, you can also call it a Wi-Fi adapter. So in a laptop, it's the one that connect to the wireless networks without cables. So in simple terms, you can say it is a part of the laptop that access the internet or other devices over the Wi-Fi. So when this wireless card is not installed, so when the wireless card is not there, the machine, this computer cannot be able to have access to the internet like the Wi-Fi, the wireless internet like Wi-Fi. It cannot connect, and even some of the like Bluetooth, like wireless mouse or keyboards. So all the wireless connection cannot happen when this wireless card is not there. So like I said earlier, this is RAM. RAM is, you can call it a short-term memory storage. Is a short-term memory in a computer. So it store it handle the applications that are running. So when the computer is turned off, the RAM cannot work. So it is a short-term working memory that temporarily stores the data and programs that the CPU is running. Like if the CPU is currently running, it is the RAM that can host those applications or the processes. So it allows fast access to instruction that can really make it that can make programs run smoothly. So what happens if the RAM is not there? Let's say it's not installed well, or it doesn't show. So the computer cannot boot or operate because the CPU has nowhere to load the instruction. So the programs cannot run even if the storage is there, or the disk is there, or it can still not be able to run. So in practice, a system with no RAM is completely unusable because you cannot run any application. My lecturer said the computer cannot display anything. Like even if you clicked on any application or anything, it cannot display because there is nowhere where the CPU can host that application. So that is the work of the RAM. So the function is to store data and information. The function is to host the running applications. So when we come to these components, which is also the very important components in the computer, is the storage. I can't remove this if necessary, but I think it's also okay just to explain. This one cannot remove this screw as well. So for the storage, unlike the RAM, the storage is one of the components that since the other one is the short term, this one is a long term. So it's the one that saves data, information, and programs permanently. It's a permanent memory. When you run something, it's where the applications are run. is where even the operating system is stored. So without this storage, you cannot, the operating system cannot be found anywhere, because it is stored on the storage, which is the disk. So it permanently stored the data, all the information, the programs, the application, anything. So for the functions, like I said, it stores data and information, and it stores the program and softwares, and these things are stored permanently. So it provides data to the CPU. Like I said earlier, the CPU gets the information from the hard disk. So the application that are run on the CPU are from the hard disk. This is where they are stored. So it keeps backups, copies of important files. So what happens exactly if this storage is not there? What happens? The computer cannot boot, because the operating system won't be there. Because, like I said earlier, the operating system is stored on this, and that's why you are seeing on virtual machine you have to give operating system a certain amount of storage. So without it, you cannot. The operating system cannot work, and the computer cannot boot. The programs cannot run because there is nowhere to store them. The data is lost. Once power is turned off, the data is lost. Like we said earlier, for the RAM, it's just temporary. So when the machine is off, that data is lost. So without the computer, without this hard disk, the computer becomes useless for meaningful work. So the computer can act only as a hardware with no memory. So this is another important component is this CMOS battery. So this CMOS battery, the CMOS battery, like you are seeing, is this small coin-shaped battery on the motherboard. And this, what this one does is that it supplies power to the CMOS chips. So it supplies power to the CMOS chips. And the last time the lecturer told us that is where the basic information or the basic system settings are stored. So the function of it is that it keeps date and time when the computer is off. So when you turn the computer off, it is CMOS battery that keeps this. So, and also the BIOS inputs and output devices, and also UEFI settings. UEFI settings are also stored on this components, which is the CMOS battery. So the boot order, the hardware configuration, they're all here. So it retains system configuration that you need to start the computer. So what happens if the CMOS battery is not installed or is dead? So the system can lose the data. The system can lose the date and time. Every time you power on your machine and you turn it off, the settings, the system settings like date can change. It can go back to the default settings. So the BIOS as well can be reset to defaults. So you may see like some errors, like CMOS checksum error. You may see some like a lecturer told us last time that when a CMOS battery is not there, you find most of the computers, they can beep 5 times, tit, 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 tit. So it is when the CMOS battery is not installed very well, or it's not working. So, or it's not there completely. So in short, it is this CMOS battery that preserves the important system setting when the computer has no power. So without it, those settings are lost. So this is the CMOS battery, and the CPU, which is the most important components that many people call the brain of the computer. So what is the CPU, which is the central processing unit that is here? So the CPU is the most important component. Does a lot of things. So processing, its functions includes processing instructions. So they work hand in hand with the operating system. When you operate the operating system, when you install the operating system on your machine, the CPU operating system, actually, like most of us know, is the one that provides the interface, is the one that that gives the instructions to the hardware things. So it is this CPU, when the operating system says you are supposed to open this, it is this CPU that has to get that program from the storage, that fetches, is the one that fetches, and the one that decodes and executes instructions from the programs. So there are it is divided into two. It also does the controlling and also the arithmetic logic and logic operation. So the one that we are seeing, like people say, is the brain of the computer. The calculations we are seeing in our computers, like this calculation, whatever, it is the CPU that does it with the units that is called arithmetic logic units, ALU. So it's the one that performs those calculation, addition, subtractions, and other logic things. So it's the one that controls, the CPU controls and coordinate. It directs other components like memory, input and output devices on what to do and when. So it's the one that also handles data. It moves data between memory, storage, and preparers as needed. So what do you think will happen if the CPU is not there? If the CPU is not there, like you say, it's the brain of the computer. So your computer can just be a useless one. It can't do anything. So the computer cannot run any programs. No processing of data that can occur. Other components like RAM, disk, keyboard, and what become useless because nothing controls them. They cannot communicate to each other. So the system will not do to function at all. So that's why the people say the CPU is the brain of the computer. Without it, the computer is effectively dead. So that is it about the CPU, and I've actually taken a lot of minutes. I wanted to summarize it so that it doesn't go beyond 15 minutes, but I'm seeing myself now reaching 18 minutes. So that is it. These are the ports. You have seen these are the ports, cables where you can connect the USB and the rest. This is HDMI port. This is Ethernet cable. Yeah. So the rest capacitors. So for the capacitors, I may not explain all of them because capacitors have different types of capacitors and they have their own things to do. I've also seen the transistors and the rest of the other components. So these are the things that I'm going to explain. And this is the hard disk. As I said earlier, I've already explained the central processing units get power from here, and it supplies it to. This wire is for speakers. This is a video cable. This is the video cable. Yeah, that is it. That is for today. And these are the cables. Sorry, these wiring things. It's just a connection that I'm not going to go more details. So thank you.